A lot of people wonder why it is that New England was the source of so many great ideas that still animate us today. Emerson's self-reliance, Thoreau's civil disobedience, and his understanding of ecology. He even, I think, originated that term. Margaret Fuller's gender theory, it was she who said there's no wholly masculine man, no purely feminine woman. All of these traits are kind of passing in and out, flowing into each other within each human soul. Why was it New England? Well, New England was the beginning of the Revolution, and another 50 years after that Revolution for Independence. In New England, there were enough institutions that were kind of stodgy in the minds of these people, Emerson, Thoreau, other ministers, and the women who were excluded from higher education. No women could go to Harvard or any college at the time. It was a time for rebellion, even close as it now seems to us to the first revolution. So they very consciously thought of themselves as enacting a second American revolution, a more interior revolution, as Elizabeth Palmer Peabody said, of ideas and of the spirit. And they wanted to, take that sense of independence and of liberty that was a kind of political movement in the first closely fought American Revolution for Independence. They wanted to take this into the spirit, into the mind, into the arts. They did it in a number of ways. Part of it was a movement towards individual spirituality, individual connection with nature. Another of it was a communal movement. They gathered together and started a magazine called The Dial, in which their ideas were published. Some of them started utopian communities, which had some real success for a number of years, although they ultimately didn't pan out, as is so often true of utopian communities. And they wrote wonderful poems, essays. I mean, we all know Emerson's term, self-reliance. We all know Thoreau's Walden. And we all should know Margaret Fuller's Woman in the 19th Century, in which she wrote that, all arbitrary barriers should be set aside. Women should have just as much access to education, to the professions, to the marketplace as men. And it was quite a radical argument in her day in 1845 when that was published.